Hello, beautiful souls. I see you. Welcome to day 27 of National Life Coaching Month at the Southwest Institute of Healing Arts. I want to thank everybody that is joining me today on this amazing Saturday. The last Saturday in January. Oh my goodness, it amazes me every time. Hey Cheryl, how are you, my friend? Welcome. So glad you are here. Okay, you guys, so today I am so excited to be talking angels, spirit guides, spirit animals, and all divine helpers that can assist us with accessing our intuition, accessing our gifts and our healing abilities to shine brightly and help others in this world. Hey Taylor, how are you, my friend? Welcome. Welcome everybody that's here. So for those of you who know me, before I begin any type of spiritual session or any talks about intuition or anything that really helps us make the invisible visible, I love to do some kind of cleansing. Hey Dana, welcome my friend. Hi Kathy, so glad you are here. Welcome, welcome. So first things first, we are going to sage our space and, like Casey Miller says, remove the veil, because that is so important in tapping into our intuition. So join me while I go ahead and give us a little smudge really quick. Remove this veil that we got going on right now. Okay, beautiful. And I just invite you guys at home, whomever's watching, to just kind of center yourself, create a sacred container around you, and allow any negativity, any unwanted energies to simply be lifted away. And so it is. And I want to take this sacred moment to call in love and light, call in our angels, the archangels, our spirit guides, the spirit animals that wish to assist us, all of the holiest of spirits to help us connect with, be protected by, and be directed by. And so it is. Gotta love a good sage in the afternoon. There we go. Oh, hello, Chantel. Welcome. Hey, Rodney. Welcome, my friends. For everybody that just joined, welcome. I am so glad that you are here to talk about this very important topic. So, let's jump right in, shall we? So, you know what? Before we really start, I'm going to set my timer. We're going to stay on time today. For those of you who have been joining me over the last few weeks, you know that I've been asking the angels to help me with time management. So, I can't wait to get interactive and see what you guys have to say about working with angels, working with your spirit guides, spirit animals, or if you just think that's a bunch of hullabaloo and you don't know what any of this really means, welcome, welcome. Let's talk about it, my friends. So, first things first, I just would like to say that I've been on this journey with my intuition for many years now. It began with having intuitive dreams. I would have these dreams and I would get these messages, and usually they happened right before I woke up in the morning. It was like while I was in that twilight between, actually waking up but still in a dream state. And I would receive these messages about people, messages about events, messages about things that might happen during the day that hadn't happened yet, only to find a few hours later that, oh my goodness, I dreamt about this. Hey Leanne, hi Beth, welcome my friends, welcome everybody that's here, everyone that I can't see that came in, welcome. So, in any case, my intuitive dreams kind of led me back to spirit. Because for a while there, after my grandmother had passed away, it seemed like there became this disconnection from spirit. It seemed like my whole family was not really connected to spirit. I know my mother, it was her mother who passed away. And after she passed away, my mother just became like a complete atheist and just chose not to connect with spirit at all. And so even though I was born and raised in Catholic school and I had a religious upbringing, there's obviously a difference between being religious and being truly connected to spirit. And so I was kind of in that stage where I was religious. I knew about angels, I knew about God, I knew about guides even though I wasn't too familiar, but I wasn't really connecting with those energies. And so having the dreams really helped me to open up to the possibilities that there was some kind of spiritual existence. And then from there, I discovered angels. And what I liked about angels is that they weren't just religious. You know, almost every single religion or spiritual belief throughout history has some form of angels in that belief system. And if you don't know what an angel is, angels are considered messengers of God or extensions of God. And there's lots and lots of angels. I began learning about the archangels, some of the major archangels: Archangel Michael, Archangel Raphael, Archangel Gabriel, Archangel Uriel. I mean, I can go on and on. There's many archangels. But then from there, I learned about even more angels, and then began to learn about spirit guides and how spirit guides can basically choose to help you develop spiritually throughout your life's journey and really be there for you and help guide you along with your angels, along with the ascended masters, Jesus, Kuan Yin, Buddha. We give a lot of labels and names and hierarchy to these spiritual beings, but ultimately, the way that I look at all of these energetic helpers, and this may sound a little funny, and I don't mean to be sacrilegious, but I almost look at them as if they're Santa's helpers. You know, if God or Source was Santa, these angels, these spirit guides, these spirit animals, all of them they're not God themselves, but they are like Santa's helpers, like spiritual elves that wish to assist us on our earthly journey. So basically, my intention for today's session was to help us all kind of tune in to our own spiritual presence, what we may feel around us in the form of angels, in the form of loved ones that are here to guide us, that have crossed over, or even in the form of spirit animals. You know, that is something that many people are becoming much more sensitive to. That there is kind of like this spirit to the animal kingdom, and that different spirit animals may pop up in our lives at different times to help us along our journey. So I want to discuss all of this today, and I want to know what you guys think about your own spiritual helpers, and if you're aware of the angels you're working with, of maybe the spirit guides or the fairies or whatever holy spirits are assisting you on your life path and your journey. So the first thing I want to do, and I can't wait to hear what you guys have to say, but the first thing I'd like to do is simply just take a deep breath, let it all go. Do that with me if you can. Just taking a deep breath, closing your eyes if you like, and just releasing. And I want you to imagine that you have roots growing from the soles of your feet deep down into the earth. Feeling those spiritual roots growing deeper and deeper down, penetrating different layers of the earth, past layers of rock, layers of sediment, down even deeper to the very core of the earth. And now is the time to allow any negative energies, any anxiety, any negative thoughts or tension to move down through your body, deep down into your roots, deeper and deeper into the core of the earth, allowing the earth to absorb any and all unwanted energies, unwanted feelings, being removed from your body deep into the core of the earth. And now, as you let all of these negative energies be released, I invite you now to absorb healing, light energy from the earth, filling you up, moving up your roots, into your body, higher into your heart space, filling every cell of your body with divine white light. And just as you pictured your energetic roots growing deeply into the ground, I invite you to imagine branches of beautiful white light from the earth growing up out of your head, making you into the most beautiful, divine tree of light that you've ever imagined. And as these branches of light grow up tall to the heavens and surround you in a canopy of beautiful divine protection, I want you to just take a moment and breathe into this space. This is your safe place. Your safe, protected space where only divine, loving beings of light and of love can enter. Where your true spirit guides, the holiest of angels, your guardian angels, spirit animals that wish to serve you, any spirits of nature, anything that comes directly from source, from the highest of all energies of love, can be present with you. And I just want you to mark this space on your internal GPS, knowing that you can return here to this safe, connected space whenever is necessary. And with one more deep breath in, I want you to gently open your eyes. Thank you for that. Thank you. How is everyone feeling? Hi, Sue. Welcome, my friend. Okay, good. So thank you guys for going on that little journey with me. You know, whenever I want to tune into my guides or my angels, I make sure that I'm not only grounded and connected with the earth, but that I can release any fear, any anxieties, anything that's low vibration, so that I can create a sacred container for the high vibration, for those energies of love and light. So that is a quick fix if you're thinking of, well, how am I going to connect to my angels? How can I connect to my guides or any of the spirit helpers that wish to assist me? Going to your sacred divine tree, connecting, centering, and protecting, I think is one of the best ways to begin that journey. So now that we're all protected, connected, and being directed, I want to ask you guys some questions about your thoughts on angels. Do any of you work with angels? Do any of you work with your spirit guides? Or do you tune in to those loving energies around you that are there for you? Hi, Terry. So Terry says, hi there, Michael. Hi. The messages that have been life-changing have always, in all caps, come in my dreams. So much so that from the first one I had, I was able to quit smoking in my first trimester of pregnancy. Hold on, I'm going to try to see more here. That day. Wow, that is incredible. You know, when we dream, our ego goes to sleep. So when our physical body is sleeping, our ego is sleeping as well. So that part of us that may kind of tell us that we're crazy or we're thinking, we're just making things up, goes to bed and we're able to receive the messages much more clearly. So that's amazing, Terry. Thank you for sharing. I think many of us, many of the new healers that are coming into the world and learning their own light and their own power, our dreams are going to be a major way in which the divine will speak to us. So definitely something to pay attention to. Thank you so much for that. So you guys, one question that I always get is that people are worried that by opening up to angels or spirit guides or, God forbid, spirit animals, it's taking them away from the true God, the one true God, the one true source, and they feel like they're almost cheating spiritually. Has anybody ever thought of that? Like they wish to kind of go on a spiritual journey and explore what kind of spiritual energies are there to help, but they feel like they're almost cheating on their traditional way of connecting to God, or they feel like they're worried about doing something evil or wrong. I'm so glad, Kathy. Yeah, releasing the negatives, absolutely releasing negativity, tension, and thank you, because that's a great segue. That is one way that I'm ensuring that I am connecting to source, to the energy of love and light, is by clearing any negativity, any low vibrational stuff, to make sure that the highest energies and the highest vibrations is what I'm really chilling with. Because if not, nobody's got time for that. Hey, Becca. So Becca says, my family thought I think you were saying crazy, but you said racy. Your family thought you were being racy when you stepped into your divine power. Well, you probably were being a little racy, Becca. Good for you, honey. And no, you were definitely not crazy. And that is one thing that's so important when we are growing on our spiritual journey and opening up to the many different faces of spirit is, what are people going to think? What is someone going to think as I step into my power and have my spirit animal cheetah by my side? What are people going to think if I ever told them that I was walking around with an invisible cheetah? I mean, some people that aren't on that vibration may just think you're crazy. But one thing that I've learned is that it's the crazy people that make history, or those who people believe are crazy are the ones that really change things and change the whole paradigm for everyone. So blessings to you, Becca, for stepping out into your power, even when your family thought you were crazy. I love that. Crazy, yes, there we go. So Dana says, I haven't asked my helpers their names or classification or whatever. Great point. Except, of course, my mom and dad. I already knew their names. Oh my gosh, you had me giggle there. I just felt their presence. Is there any, have you experienced any, I don't know what else that comment is saying, but I do want to take a moment there with the classifications and whatever that is, because, that's one thing that really held me up when I was initially connecting with angels. First of all, I had to make sure I wasn't crazy, because when I thought of angels, I thought of little porcelain figurines that were in my grandmother's china cabinet or china closet. I didn't think, of angels as an amazing extension of God or the divine. I thought of them as old lady knickknacks. That's just my truth. I didn't connect with them. But when I did actually connect with angels and asked them to show me a sign of their presence and actually really started feeling angelic energy, my ego started getting tripped up on, well, which angel am I talking to here? Does it matter if I'm, thinking I'm connecting with Archangel Michael, but it's actually Archangel Uriel? Or will Archangel Gabriel get offended if I call in some angels and I forget Archangel Gabriel's name? This is something that I think is so important to touch on. Because one thing that I've learned, Dana, is that the archangels, our angels, our guides, anything that is of that high vibration, it is all an extension of God's source, if you want to call that the universe. And so there's no need to really classify unless it's helping you connect, which is kind of like what religion is about. Religion can serve such a beautiful purpose in helping you connect to the Holy Spirit, to God, to source. But it can also be very destructive if we let it go there. So I would just invite you, if you do feel the need to classify what kind of energy I'm feeling, is it a fairy, is it an angel, is it a spirit guide or spirit animal or whatever, a troll, a gnome. People have told me that they work with the gnomes that are guardians of the earth. And at first you want to roll your eyes and be like, yeah, well, that person's kind of crazy. But the truth is, spirit will show us whatever resonates with us to help us connect. And so one thing that helped me connect and not worry so much about the classification of things is I look at angels and spirit guides and all of the Santa's helpers, so to speak, as, well, let's put it this way. If you could think of God, if you could think of source, the loving energy that we all come from, as a gigantic jewel, okay? A big, beautiful diamond, let's say, or a big, beautiful jewel that's multifaceted, that has all those different faces, like a million-faced jewel. I believe that every different angel, every different energy, every different guide or ascended master that spans the whole globe in all of human history, anything that's helped humanity to connect to spirit is like one of those tiny faces on this huge jewel. It's the same jewel, it just gives off maybe a different type of sparkle, okay? And yes, absolutely, and that's really helped me understand that if this feels good and high vibrating, then I know it's part of that same jewel that is God. Mandy Lou says a tetrahedron. Perfect, Mandy. If that works for you, I love it. Absolutely. So, Pamela, you are saying that you're finally being authentic with yourself and you've struggled with people and family thinking you were crazy. Amen, sister. I feel you. Doctors giving you more and more medication, and now you're just being you. Angels, spirit guides, seeing things. I can't see the rest of the comment, but absolutely. And let me say, it's not like we're here to discount any kind of medical advice or discount any kind of help, because I truly believe that there are medications out there that can help us and balance us, and yet there's also our own ability to holistically, not just put a bandage on things, but to go deeper. Sometimes I think using both can be helpful depending on our situation. But if people are telling you that you're crazy for connecting with your angels or connecting with your spirit guides, and let's be honest, you guys, it's probably going to happen at one point or another. That's the reason we've come to this planet, right? To set an example. And when we are shining so bright, sometimes that really gets people's egos quite defensive, and the claws come out and they say, "You're crazy, you need a doctor." It's okay. It's totally chill. And that's something that you can ask your angels and guides to help you with, is to continue to shine despite not having people understand or believe you. Because remember, it's not about that external validation. It's all about what feels right and true to you. Our spiritual journey is one that is walked inside of us, truly, so that we can walk the path outside of us. And sometimes not everybody's on that same path, and we may come across people that are naysayers or have a lower vibe along the way, and that's okay. That's all part of this. The more we show up and have the courage, the more we'll have a connection to our angels. And that was one thing, watching, and I want to say this really quickly, and then I'm going to read the other comments that just came through. But I was just watching Casey Miller, her live that she did with SWIHA a couple of days ago, and she did a session with someone, and she was talking about massage therapy and how she became a massage therapist. And she said something that really resonated with me, and I think it's so true, and this speaks to your point, is our healing talents, our healing abilities strengthen in direct proportion with our courage. So you have to have courage to be a healer, my friends. And part of that courage is showing up and staying strong in what you believe in and what you connect with, despite others not having the same experience. So I invite you to have courage. By the way, for anyone that saw that Facebook Live, I want to ask you guys, did you happen to notice the orbs that were above Casey when she was conducting her session on the table and talking about massage and reading her client's toes? Did you guys see the orbs that were there? I invite you to go back and check that out, because as soon as I saw these orbs of light, I saw a couple that were moving above her in the Facebook Live. I knew that those were divine helpers, angels, guides, Reiki guides, whatever you want to call them. Sometimes you will see the presence of your divine helpers. And the orbs, I believe, again, when you're in a sacred container, a sacred space, when you're seeing orbs and different light anomalies, you can be sure that those are your divine helpers making their presence known. And I think as we move forward in the future with our technology, I think you can bet that we're going to see more and more physical proof that these energies are around us, assisting us. So I want to take a couple of questions, and then we're going to talk about how you can ask these spiritual divine beings to help you with your intuition. Okay, 1 second. I want to make sure I wasn't missing anything. So Becca says, mainstream society seems to think that tarot cards and angel numbers are cuckoo, and I feel it's because they don't understand themselves spiritually. Absolutely, Becca. One thing that I can say, and this is the honest to God truth, is that when I used to listen to people talk about spirit and their angels, I used to think they were nuts too. And even though I've always been on this spiritual journey, I have come a long way with understanding my own ego and my own ego's voice. And the first thing you do when something seems unknown or something seems inexplicable or maybe even a little scary because it resonates with us so deeply, we're not ready to go to that place, what do? We ostracize that thing. We say it's crazy. We think it's some kind of freaky thing that, someone's delusional. So it's actually really normal to come up against people thinking you're nuts, you guys. So I ask you to embrace that. And every single time someone tells you you're crazy or tells you you're nuts, I want you to imagine that in that moment, as you stand in your courage, your spiritual connection and your healing powers expand and become stronger. And you can now hear your angels and your guides and the forms of spirit that are around you even louder and more clear. Super exciting. It's a journey, guys. Okay, so I want to see what else. So Sue says religion is often viewed as separate from other religions. Spirituality unites them all. So beautifully, Sue. Beautifully said. One thing that I've learned, again, is that, when I was first starting on my spiritual path, and I don't know if any of you can resonate with this, but I remember thinking, oh man, what if, this one deity or spiritual energy or mythological figure really resonates with me, but what if it's wrong? What if it's bad? And what if it's not truly serving me? Again, just like Sue said, spirituality is what unites us all. Tune into your own resonance, your own spiritual center. What feels right to you? Does this feel like a high vibration or a low vibration? And I kind of use the example of burnt toast. Okay, stick with me here, you guys. Even though we can't see our angels all the time or our guides, it's about sensing their vibration, and it's almost like burnt toast. And I forget where I heard this original analogy, but if someone, let's say you go to someone's house, okay, and you come into the room and you can smell that they've burnt toast. You can't see it. The toaster's been put away, the burnt toast has been thrown out, but you can still smell that burnt toast. It's kind of like that heavy, burnt kind of energy. But then there's also that experience where you go over to someone's house and when you walk in, you can smell the most fresh, delicious apple pie that's fresh from the oven, even though you don't see the apple pie, okay? This is my best way to help you decipher what is high vibrational and low vibrational on your spiritual journey. If you're connecting or you're reading about something that feels dark or feels like, kind of like that burnt toast vibe, right there, you know that energy is not for you and it's not going to lift you to a higher vibration. But if you're learning about a story or some kind of figure, a spiritual figure in history, or maybe even a spiritual figure from another religion that you've never really studied, but you feel that warm apple pie smell, that's how you know that it's high vibrational and it's something that assists you on your journey. And I want you to really tune into that vibration with whatever you're learning. Is this a vibration that you feel like, this is bringing me closer to that true divine jewel? Or is this something that's kind of like burnt toast and I don't really need it and I can cancel, clear, delete that? That kind of discernment is going to be really crucial in developing your relationship with the guides and the spirit helpers that want to assist you and that are really of that pure love energy. Okay, so let me see here. So, yes, spirituality unites all religions. Aho, Becca says. Aho. Oh, I love it. Oh, good, Sandy. I'm glad. Yes, absolutely. It was such a great session. So Becca says, here's a prescription to put up with and deal with how society has been built and operates. LOL, I hear an old school doctor saying this in their subconscious mind. All jokes aside, I do honestly love how many, and then the comment cuts off. I'm going to have to come back and see that comment, Becca, because it sounds, that feels high vibrational to me right there. Oh, thank you so much. Hi, everybody. Hi, Scott. Welcome. Okay. So you guys, one thing I want to do is I want to help you kind of connect with what energies may be helping you already that you're not even sure are there. So Pamela, really quick, you say, how do you protect yourself from the low vibrational energy? Pamela, that's a great question because, some people think that the world of spirit is kind of like our world. There's some good people in the world and there's some not so good people in the world. And even though at the core we are all divine children and we are all good, we have free will choices that either take us to a higher vibrational place or a lower vibrational place. It goes back to vibration. So yes, I do believe that just like here on earth, in the world of spirit, there is, lower vibrations at times that we have to protect ourselves from. And so the one great thing to do that I do that's effortless is that I just create a sacred container, Pamela. And just like we did with the roots going down into the ground and then imagining that we are a tree with branches of light surrounding us, when you can truly tune into that place and set the intention that you are creating a sacred container, that instantly connects and protects you. And you'll notice that even emotions, like heavy, low vibrational emotions, not even like a spiritual energy or entity, but even if we're feeling down or feeling low, by simply connecting and then protecting ourselves with white light or with branches of light or imagining a bubble of light, whatever resonates with you, whatever you get that baked apple pie vibe from, that is what's going to create your protection. So as long as you are connected to that sacred space, you are protected in that sacred space. Something to remember. Oh, I love that. I love that. Oh, I'm so glad you can fill your cup here, Mandy. So one thing that I want to tune you guys into, because I'll be honest with you, I am still, I remember learning about angels, thinking it was weird, and then actually experiencing angels and thinking it was absolutely profound, the idea of angels and the presence of angels. And then hearing about fairies or elementals and then thinking, oh, for sure these people are a little bit, on something if they're seeing fairies. But then connecting to the fairy realm or to the elemental realm. Some people call them earth angels, or nature angels rather, I'm sorry. Nature angels, and tuning into the nature angel realm of the fairies. And then again, feeling that energy. It was like, whoa. And then connecting to spirit guides and asking different spirit guides to come through. All of these different energies and helpers that back in the day when I first started my journey, I thought for certain was crazy. I mean, okay, we can get a little spiritual, but that kind of spiritual, before you know it, you'll be talking to aliens. And guess what? I know many high vibrational people that truly feel the presence of extraterrestrial energies that are of love and light, that are helping them and guiding them. So you have to decide for you right now where you are on your journey, what resonates with you, what you feel enters your protected sacred container. And it is kind of like building a relationship with each of these energies. So one thing that I do want to just really quickly tune into with you guys is a way to kind of sense what is helping you and who is in your sacred container. Oh, beautiful, Sandy. See, it's so simple to get in touch with our sacred container if we allow ourselves to. Again, I can't believe how fast time flies when we're in the zone, you guys. But there's one thing I want to leave you with that I feel like is super helpful when really beginning to discern the different types of energies that are around you and assisting you when you're tapping into your intuition. And again, you can ask the angels for help in your healing sessions, in your coaching sessions. No one has to know who you are connecting with. And I want to say that again. If you are called to share your experience about your angels, your spirit guides, your spirit animals, or the helpful extraterrestrials that are coming through love and light to help you, if you are guided to talk about them, then fabulous. There is an audience ready for you. But if you are feeling that you wish to connect to these energies, to whatever love and light is around you, supporting you in private, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. No one ever has to know who you're connecting with if you have that connection and that spiritual relationship with. It can be your little secret, but it's really who you resonate with. But there's one thing that I just want to teach you guys, and it's almost like a spiritual radar. And I call it my Goddar. Not to be confused with gaydar, because if you're tuning in from your gaydar right now, it's going to be making sounds like beep, 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 yes, honey, okay? But if you are tuned in from your Goddar, I want you to go to that sacred container again And I want you to just imagine that you are surrounded in that safe place, that place where only high vibrations can enter. And I want you to imagine that just like a radar has that bar that goes around and picks up objects that are flying in, the airspace, I want you to imagine that from your heart center, there is like a green bar that comes out that scans around you in all directions. And I want you to imagine that as angels, spirit guides, any type of energy of love and light comes into your space, it goes bloop, picks up on your radar. And a lot of the time when I do this, I pick up the most presence behind me, directly behind me, and I'll instantly feel the warm, strong presence of my guardian angels, or of the archangels, or of any helpful spirits that are there to help me. And it's in this place when you are using this Gaddar that you can really sense the energies of God that are close to you right now, and the faces of God that are with you. And this is a great way to discover maybe if you are working with spirit animals, as your bar of love goes around and kind of the Gaddar spins and you sense a certain animal, or maybe you're sensing your grandfather or your grandmother or a loved one that's passed. Trust that your Gaddar is accurate and that you can use this space just to kind of take inventory of your sacred container and see who is there helping you and assisting you. So really quickly, I just want to take one more question because I've babbled on and on and on, and I want to see if anyone has one last question that we can close this sacred container with. Anything about working with angels, your spirit guides. And I invite all of you guys to really research where you're being led. If you're being led to research more about your spirit animals or how you can call on spirit animals to help you, research them. Get some information. If you're being called to learn more about the angels, angelology is a thing. There is a study dedicated to all of the angels in all major faiths. And there's so many different names of angels that you could work with. But really, it comes down to what you feel resonant with, what you feel that high vibe, apple pie feeling with. That is where I recommend you go. Okay, so Mandy, you say you're looking for a great tarot deck if you have recommendations. Well, Mandy, one thing I will tell you is that I started with the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. And the reason why I loved that deck was kind of because when I first got it, I was 10 years old and I was in Catholic school. And anything that was not of, Jesus Christ on the cross was of the devil. And I remember my mother's friend leaving her tarot cards at our house. And when I first thumbed through them, I remember feeling, oh my God, this is evil. This is wrong. But that was my ego talking. There was something that drew me to that deck, and I'd like to think it was my own angels and my own spirit guides. Because just like you can use the tarot for good, you can use the tarot for bad. But just like you can use the Bible for good, you can also use the Bible to devalue and dehumanize people. So it's really whatever tools you are drawn to, it's about your integrity in using that tool. I just want to say that. But Mandy, as far as picking a deck for yourself, the Rider-Waite deck I think is a great deck to begin with because I feel like many different tarot decks are based off of that premise, the Rider-Waite-Smith deck. However, the thing I say is that the deck usually picks you. So when you are going into the store, again, which decks, when you hold them and you use them, which decks are really calling to you? Which ones seem high vibrational? If you see a cool deck that you're drawn to, but it feels like, kind of or it might feel powerful, but maybe not the kind of power that you're looking for, don't hesitate to keep moving until you feel that high, happy vibration, and that's going to be the deck for you. Thank you so much, Becca. Thank you for being here, and thank you, everyone, for your questions. Oh, beautiful, Pamela. That's great. Thank you for those. The Akashic Tarot and the Tarot of the Trees. I got to check that one out. That sounds cool. So anyway, you guys, if you have any questions about tuning into your spirit guides, tuning into all of the loving God's helpers that are all around us, feel free to hit me up on my Facebook page. Like my Facebook page, Crystal Queer. You can search it by searching Crystal Queer Live, or you can just message me directly on my personal Facebook page, and I'll be liking and responding to some comments that I didn't get to see in the live. But until next time, my friends, I am wishing you so much love, so much light, and such a strong connection to all the forms of God that wish to support you on your journey. Namaste, my friends. Much love. Have an amazing weekend.